Hi, my name is Lindsay and welcome back to my channel. I am wearing a white sweater and I have never worn it out in public because it was a gift and I knew if I wore it out it would not remain white. It was something would happen. So, alright, so getting into this video, we're going to be talking about points of triangulation and just the love that my personality type has for solving things. Now, you may have heard the little cliche statements about INTJs about how INTJs love to solve people and solve blah, blah, blah. Okay, there is some truth to that. We love solving. So it doesn't matter what it is. Everything can be looked at like a puzzle to us. We can always reframe our perspective in that way to look at the thing and we're like, this is now a puzzle. This can now be solved. And it's a weird way to live your life, but I mean, it works for us. So what about our functions just love the solving process? Well, first of all, the NI function, that is the one that sees kind of where the endpoint is. It sees the thing that we're trying to solve and some pieces of information on the way to possibly getting there, right? It's also making inferences, judgments based on that route that could possibly work. And then the TE is using the triangulation. So it's like the TE is like I love solving this part because it's bouncing it off these external points of logic and reference within the world and saying, if this is applied in this way, if this logic is implemented in this direction, would it help the solving process? What about this piece over here? Does this information here help in the solving process? And it's using these logic references that relate to these various integrations in the direction of solving the thing, whatever we've determined it to be. And it is just so much fun. So our perspective changes everything as it relates to our vision and the way that we see things. As an INTJ, we like to reframe our perspective in different ways in order to find the best way to achieve the one thing, the best way to achieve the singular route toward a specific direction. And then what's even more fun is that based off these points of reference and triangulation, you're able to make leaps of inference based off their location and based off the other things that you know and understand as a whole. So as an INTJ, if I'm ever not liking a situation that I'm in, if the circumstances suck and it's just no one's having a good time, especially me, I just turn it into a puzzle for my brain. And I start triangulating and I try to solve something. I can always find something that within my own mind can be solved. And that is just a reprieve from whatever the bad circumstance can be. So what's also fun for us is when we're able to go through the solving process with another person, because at the end of the day, I'm only going to come up with so many challenges that are relevant for me to apply myself to and to puzzle myself through. And I'm usually working on one or two things that I'm in a long-term process of solving and working out. But when you get someone else in your life that's like, hey, I was like trying to figure this thing out and I couldn't quite figure out how it worked, like talk about instant, I'm engaged, I want to know. Because now I get to use your points of reference and your world over here. And I can now start applying my own perspectives on this solving journey with you. And that's why another thing you hear people say about INTJs is like, oh, the best thing you can do is like apply something that they tell you to do and actually like try to do it. Because like we do get a sense of gratification from that because we've just like logicked this whole fun puzzle out and we're like, this thing I've given you, this really should work. This really should work for your circumstance. And we put a lot of trust and belief in that because of the process we've gone through to get there. And I'm not saying you always need to listen to us or just, apply. Don't just like apply things people say without judging them for your own self and running the own simulations for your own self. But the process we take to get there, we do have a good bit of confidence in, and it's really cool to see someone go through the process of applying that reasoning and coming back to us and being like, okay, this thing worked, this thing didn't work, and then we can retriangulate and use more points of reference to maybe make it a better process, to make it a better flow. And that's why people are puzzles and we love solving everything. One thing that is annoying, however, and I need to mention it, is when people ask you a question and you apply your fun puzzle to it, but they had no intention of actually applying even the understanding that you gave to them. They just asked it in order to like take up space in the air. That is a little annoying. I mean, the process is still kind of fun, but then it's like the outcome, it's like you're not getting anything out of it. So it's like, throw us a bone, like, you know, just pretend like you understood something. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you got a little bit of understanding about why we love this solving triangulation process, why it is gratifying to us, and that's all I have for this video. So, meet you down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's solve things together. Alright, bye. That's that piece of awkward information. Anyway, getting into this video, I'm very strange. Okay.